All right, so this is part three. We're going to pick up where we left off on part two. We cut off at we brought up Stanley Meyer and then started, breaking that down. Why don't you just touch base on Stanley Meyer again, get into with his invention, then you started hitting elites, their agenda, how they can get off planet with technology. If you want to pick back up,
Yeah,
we're paying taxes.
refresh refresh me on what
Start
Stanley
at Stanley
Meyer is.
Meyer. Start at Stanley Meyer. Why he's significant.
Yeah, yeah, refresh me on what he invented.
Water car.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, that would be a pretty good thing to have. It would be a resource that doesn't run out really. I mean, water inherently doesn't run out because it's raining and also it rains and also, we have the oceans and we've been using water as a resource forever and hasn't really done any damage. Meanwhile, when you drive around in a car, you're filling the air with gases that we can't breathe. Um, you know, it if you're in a smoke-filled environment, you have to wear a gas mask. You don't have to do that if you're in a water vapor-filled environment. Uh, so yeah, that's why it's being blocked. There are way patents out there for it, and I think there are even instructions out there for building a water engine. So if you're an engineer, you can do it with the instructions. But it's not feasible to ask everyone to do that. So it's being blocked from mass production, of course.
Who blocks it?
The elites who want us
First
to
step.
just what?
The first step. Who's the first speed bump in that process?
There's not a specific person. It's well, the intelligence agencies who monitor everyone and everything. Um, if you're an entrepreneur who comes up with an invention like this, you will either be killed or threatened, and your research will be gradually memory holed to the highest degree possible. Now, it's much harder to do that nowadays because we have the internet and the dark web, and everyone else also has access to technology that allows you to basically monitor everyone at any time. Uh, so it's harder to get away with that, but it's not impossible. But there are a lot of these old things that they didn't quite finish memory holing that are resurfacing now, and I don't think they'll be able to stop all of it forever. I'll just say that. I don't think they'll be able to stop all of it forever because eventually people are going to start doing something. I would hope. If they don't, then I will think even less of our species than I already do, to be honest, if no one ends up doing anything.
What made his invention different than the steam engine?
Well, the steam engine, you have to have coal and such. It just is powered by the blowing of the steam, I think. I'm not an engineer, okay? Guys, I'm apologize if I'm getting this wrong. But it's his invention was purely water-based and used water, extracted the energy from water.
From separating the hydrogen and oxygen molecules,
I
hydrogen fuel
I,
cell,
I think so. Uh,
and water vapor came out as the okay. You talked about the elites having technology to go off planet and the elites paying taxes. Why don't you tell me about that? Who they
oh, right. The elites do go off planet on a very regular basis. They use these days usually gates because it's people will notice ships nowadays more so because we're all so spread out across the
where are these
planet now
gates?
that
What do they look like?
okay. These gates are kept underground in various bases. There is instantly one in Cheyenne Mountain, just like in the show, uh, in the Stargate show. There's uh, ones underneath um, various bases all across the country and across the planet. The biggest place to go on and off planet is in Malaysia, underneath the island of Penang. Um, what was I? Oh, these gates, there's two basic ways they look. There's either big round ones that look pretty much like in the show Stargate, except they don't have the hieroglyphic writing around the edge that's artistic license. Or there's ones that look like Stonehenge type arrangement. Stonehenge is not an active gate, by the way,
What is
but
it?
it probably was an active gate at one time, but the equipment is gone.
What
So
equipment is missing?
quantum computers, quantum supercomputers, which are stored either beside or underneath the thing, depending on however they set up the spacing. And there's wires of copper and quartz and uh, various other types of and sapphires as well, and various other kinds of crystals that connect into it that can be used to open it and operate it. And one of these quantum computers, incidentally, can be rigged up with a regular computer so that a normal person can dial it. Don't even back when the various ET civilizations built these, they used psionic energy hooked into these computers to
What energy?
uh, psionic, psychic. But that's not necessary. You can just hook up, the laptop you're using right now to one if you had access to it.
What
And
would it do if I hook up this laptop to all those computers? What am I trying to get my laptop to do? Can you simplify? Like what?
yeah, you can then operate the gate with it. You can dial a location if you have the coordinates. And it's not like in one major difference again from the show Stargate is that in that show they portray it as being Stargate to Stargate dialing. That's not like that. Um, it's Stargate to location. It can go anywhere in the universe if you have the
Time or it's all linear time?
yeah, you can do it anywhere in time as well.
Okay. Who are the elites paying taxes to and in what form?
The Anunnaki,
Okay.
and they pay it in gross domestic product, which is us. Not
Alive
necessarily.
are parts.
Sorry, what?
Alive or are parts products of us? How?
Um, Usually not bodies. Sometimes bodies if you're really valuable for uh your genetics. If you have really valuable genetics, they might sell you bodily. Usually they sell just DNA, blood samples, hair samples, whatever they can get their hands on.
Does that
Which
tell?
is go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and those things are extremely easy to get. They can just come into your house when you're not at home, get some hairs off your hairbrush. Bob's your uncle. Uh, okay, go ahead. What were you gonna ask?
Does this have anything to do with that baby blood bank where they prick your heel as a child, as an infant, starting in 1972?
Yeah, yeah.
Can you
So
explain more?
the elites pay taxes to the Anunnaki, and the Anunnaki basically honor the prime directive. Basically, that's not what it's actually called. I don't remember what it's actually called, but that's what it is for all intents and purposes, is not interfering with a growing civilization. And in exchange, the elites get to do whatever the fuck they want down here. But the thing is, they don't like having to pay taxes, which is why they're carrying out this agenda of destroying the planet and so that they can leave it permanently and also not have to pay taxes on their children, which is how they see us. They see
What
us
do you
as
mean?
they're like,
What do you break that down? Paying taxes on their children? Us what?
yeah, they see us, the normies, as their illegitimate children that didn't turn out good enough because we're not purebred enough and whatever else. And they hate that, and they don't like having to pay taxes on this planet that they think they should just own freely. But they have to because of basically galactic law. And so what they're trying to do is not have to pay taxes anymore by destroying the entire planet, eradicating all life on it is the end goal, so that they can leave and do their thing without having to pay money for it. Or money, money,
I know what you mean. Money
yeah,
loosely.
yeah.
Tell me more about galactic law. What are some more galactic laws?
Okay. Um, you cannot invade a planet without a declaration of war, or you can also invade a planet if you insinuate yourself into their existence and then uh make yourself their friend, then you can invade without breaking galactic law. Uh, so for instance, if you were to secretly create a holy book and have it distributed by a puppet of yours around the planet, and then have these people unknowingly worship you, then you could invade without breaking galactic law. Um, I do know that law is that loophole exists. I've heard that there is a book on Earth called the Urantia book. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Um, I've not really read it ever, but I do know that I know from a friend of ours, Penny, that it was written by the Mantids, who look like giant praying mantises, who are hoping that they can use it as a pretext to invade Earth. Um, I don't think that's really going to work because it's a very obscure religious text. Very few people have read it, so I don't think that plan is going to really work, but they are trying it.
They pronounce the name of this book again slowly.
Urantia, Urantia.
Where is it located? What does it look like?
It's just you can look up a PDF of it online. Um, it's just a typical like religious self-help text, but it doesn't particularly adhere itself to any god. So, and yet it tries to create its own religion. It's weird. You can kind of tell it was made by a species who don't really understand religion because the mantids don't really, most intelligent ETs don't really have religion like that.
Hmm. What is the dark web?
The dark web is like the secret internet that you can only access if you have IP addresses. That's what the dark web is.
Tell me more about it. When was it created? What all's going on it? Is there something even worse than the dark web?
Even worse than the dark web. Probably not on computers. There's probably not much worse than the dark web. I mean, there's also good things. There's, leaked uh intelligence files and things like that. Um, and there's things on there that you shouldn't have to pay for that are free. I'm not gonna say too much on that, but
Can you give me a broad
uh,
category? Just, I'm so naive to all this crap. Can you just
yeah,
a broad category of it? I'm not trying to get you in a bind.
yeah,
Just
no, I
broad
understand.
categories of what? Like,
Like AI access and things like that that
okay.
shouldn't you shouldn't have to pay for, in my opinion, and things like that. And you can talk to people in like North Korea and whatever else if you want to on there and
Are you
such.
fluent in North Korean?
No, I'm not, but I know that you
Fucking with you.
can do that.
I'm fucking with you.
Okay.
Who uh who created
But
this galactic law?
that is a subject of much debate. Most likely it was the Galactic Authority,
What is
quote
the
unquote, which is a collection of species. Um, Hundreds of species, if not, uh, excuse me, thousands, which is nowhere near enough, by the way, to represent this galaxy because okay, when you go towards the core of the galaxy, all the stars are packed in, and so nothing can really live there. But when you go just a little bit past that, there are billions upon billions upon billions of stars, and most of them have sentient life on somewhere around them. Um, Life is the rule, not the exception. That's probably the biggest lie that we've been told is that life is a rare thing, or that evolution is a miracle. Evolution is not a miracle. Evolution is extremely common, and life is the rule. And there's also much more ways for sentient life to exist than we would think.
You mean like
Um,
underwater or non-corporeal or
yeah, there are underwater sentient civilizations. There are plasma-based life forms that are sentient. There are silicon-based life forms that are sentient. There are even crystal-based creatures that are sentient. There's all kinds of stuff out there. And if a star is capable of having a planet, it probably does. And there's probably some form of sentient life somewhere around that star. So, where
if
was
you and
I
I just
going
built
with this?
a spaceship right now and zip towards the center of the galaxy and started, trying to pop in at various planets that are in this inner core area, what would happen, you think?
Um, if you went somewhere that was already a spacefaring civilization, you would hmm, something in my throat today. I apologize, but you would probably, if it was already a spacefaring civilization, you would be stopped, um, and you would be asked for your license and registration for your ship. Yeah, that's a thing. And if you had it, you would then be directed to the nearest spaceport, given instructions to land, whatever else, assuming you didn't happen to have anything contraband on board, which there are things
Be
that we
controversial.
take for
What's some general space rules?
um no coffee. You can't transport coffee. There are quite a few ET species who metabolize coffee in the way that we metabolize amphetamines. Um, that coffee is not native to this planet, by the way. It's native to the Vega system, incidentally,
I
but
guess
that's um you usually, unless you're going specifically to another um, Terran human colony, you probably can't transport alcohol. Um, you pretty much always can't transport any of the medicines that are made here because those are bioweapons, uh, as all truthers know. And let's see.
where's the red light district? Where is there a planet that's just like known for that?
The closest one would be Ceres.
Mm.
Uh,
The
yeah,
hot planet that Tony talks about.
yeah, which is in the asteroid belt. It's pretty close by.
They got some good brothels over there.
Oh, hell yeah, they do.
Well, tell me about it, man. What's it like? What's it like to go get an intergalactic blowjob? What I mean,
Um, well, it depends. If you go to get it depends on your taste, I guess.
okay, big tits, big ass, want to bang a fine chick. Are they even human? What I just don't
Okay.
calibrate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Some of them, some of them are human. They have humans working there, human chicks, who
If I were
are
to boink a different species, is that considered like bestiality, or is it like boinking up?
no,
I could bang a better species, and so it's like good on me.
yeah, basically. I mean, if they're working as a prostitute, I think they're not. It it depends on how you view prostitution as an art form, I guess. But
It is an art.
at any rate, the experience if you banged another species would be pretty amazing. Because there's look, telepathy elevates sex to a level that's hard to imagine because you feel everything they feel and they feel everything you feel. And so it's,
This
you're both
reciprocal put it like force
reciprocal,
multiply.
yeah, reciprocal pleasure. And also, like, both of you know exactly what the other one wants and everything. You don't have to say, no, do it the other way, you know.
It's just shifting gears in real time. Okay, neat.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
pretty
Well, that's
cool.
interesting. So besides series though, which is in our just tell me about probably what's the Rolls Royce of them? It's like, amongst all the planets. Okay, okay. You're on Earth.
The
If
the
someone's like, oh, so and so has a Rolls Royce, it's like generally respected. It's like, oh, I know that car is very good. They must be driving well. What is like if you drop this planet's name or this region, people like, you could be reptilian, mantid, whatever, you know what I'm saying? A green blob, and they're like, oh, that is where you go to do that.
there's not a single place for that.
What's
Uh,
the best?
because the Rolls-Royce of brothel planets for us would be the place that we call New Atlantis.
Where's that?
Um, I don't know where it is.
You better find
I
out.
still
Episode 4.
I okay, I'll do my best. I still have not remembered what star system it is. It may not be one that we know about or that our space agencies here know about, but that's the Rolls-Royce of vacation planets in general. You can also it's a set of islands on this really idyllic planet that has
How do we go there? How do I can I cut a deal and I can just jump gate over there?
if you sold your soul and were
Oh,
willing to eat some kids, maybe.
no, no, I'll never do that.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Um, but well, otherwise, maybe when you die, there is a decent chance they might take you.
Who is they
They,
and why would they have any interest in me?
I mean, they can enhance your genetics up to whatever the fuck they want. Um,
They.
uh,
meet what as
The
in
breakaway, the breakaway civilization, which is not the elites. It's a
that's the German, the
base.
Russian,
It's the Nazis and Japanese who broke away at the end of the war. Um, and they frequently take dead bodies off planet and regenerate them and enhance their genetics, whatever, and let these people go into service and become colonists. Particularly if you're slated to be cremated, there's a good chance they would do that. Um, you know the Neptune Society?
I have no idea what the hell it is. What is this?
Okay. It's a global, and I mean really global. They have offices even in countries that most uh, companies can't do business in. Like they have offices in China and such, I think. But they promote cremation as a thing, which there are advantages to cremation, don't get me wrong, um, for various reasons.
No, I don't.
Taking up taking up less space on the planet is usually a good thing. But at any rate, this I am pretty sure I have heard other testimony that kind of confirms this. This company is run by secretly by the Breakaway Society, or the military of it, to promote this, because what they do, they don't actually take your full body. What they do is they take your brain stem, which is where that's where your soul is stored.
Consciousness.
Yeah, your soul is stored in your brain stem, and they regenerate you from that. They take the genetics and regrow your body, and then they can do whatever they want to it, age regress you, age progress you, anything. And I don't know too much about your ethnic makeup, Zan, but you very well could have the ethnic makeup they look for.
I just want to have a better life after this and work hard and do something fulfilling and gratifying. But I feel like I have so little control. But I don't know if that's a mind fuck or what. But I have been thinking about
Eh,
afterlife, and I don't want to be a fucking slave. I want to kick ass and take names, and I'm willing to fight for it. But I don't know how.
well, they like that attitude, so, you know, you have a decent chance. Take a look, and the audience is welcome to do this too. Take a look at your left palm. Is there an M?
A what? Here, look.
An M. Yeah, I see one. Okay, we're related in some way.
La la
You
la
and
la.
I are.
La. Okay, I'm trying to make noise so that anyway.
Here.
Okay.
Yeah, that means you are a Merovingian.
What does that mean?
Um, the Merovingians are the royal families of Europe. Um,
I thought that was
the
what I was saying, De Medici. That's not.
uh the royal families of Europe, the de Medicis are also Merovingians, but they originated in France, and they are the descendants of Jesus and Mary Magdalene, um, who were, or at least Jesus was. I don't know about her, but Jesus was an ET.
What kind?
Aldebaran, Aldebaranite. They are incidentally also the species who created Nazism basically as an ideology, and through the Real Society, which I know you've discussed on your show before.
The real and Thule.
They, yeah, Tula, the Tula, yeah, they created Nazism as an ideology, propped up Hitler and everyone else, and
I thought the international banks did that.
N no, I would not say that. No,
Okay.
I would say that the international banks were who were financing the Allies more than anything. Um, and I have to really watch what I say on this subject. There were certain powers who were really interested and invested in ensuring that there was no German and uh, Soviet alliance, and that there was no alliance between Japan and the Republic of China, not the CCP. There were certain people who were really interested in seeing those things not happen. And that's all I'm going to say on that because I don't want to get your channel in any more trouble than it has already been in before.
Tell me about the Vega system. Dive more into coffee. That's interesting.
Um, I have an alter who grew up in the Vega system.
Where is the Vega?
Um,
What does it look like?
uh, it's a blue star. It's from our perspective, it's in the constellation Lyra. They don't like being associated with Lyra. They don't like the Lyrans. The Lyrans incidentally engineered the Vegan people and kept them as a slave race. So Vega joined up with the Draco uh, at the first chance they got to receive some degree of autonomy. Um, and Vega, what they look like, they're basically about 5 feet tall. They have like bright blue skin, big gold eyes, pointy ears, black hair. They're really, they look like Cupid dolls. Really, they do. They're very cute. Um, and there was until 2011. I always forget that, but there was until 2011 a German colony there, New Munich, which had which was essentially a company town of a Japanese company, so it was kind of almost more a Japanese colony, but majority German population. And my alter Heinrich Müller grew up there. And for people wondering how your alters can grow up in different places, than you and everything, I'll send you a link then to put in the description of this video. But to make a very long story short, time loops are very much possible. It's possible for them to take you out of your bed at night or wherever you happen to be. Um, I have once been abducted from a men's room at a Walmart in the middle of taking a piss. But at any rate, um, they can take you out of your bed at night, keep you for however long they want, age regress you, time travel back to when they took you, put you back in your bed, and you won't know it because they also can erase your memories easily because they have essentially digitized the human consciousness. The memories are just data, and data, of course, as we all know, can be wiped unless you're Hillary Clinton's emails. Um,
Why don't you talk?
but I'll talk about those later. But the Vega system, Vega is a big blue star. So the Goldilocks zone is a good deal further out than it is for Earth. Earth's sun is, a yellow, I think it's a yellow dwarf. I don't even know. But Vega's is a blue giant. And it was about the seventh planet out, I think. Uh, big, big planet, about probably about 2.5 times the size of Earth. Um, much lighter gravity. Um, because gravity isn't about mass. Gravity is actually about the speed at which a an object spins. It was basically a cyberpunk, or actually not cyberpunk, more like a nanopunk society, built around nanotechnology. It was a very interesting, dual cultural upbringing, very fused German and Japanese upbringing. The people there speak German and Japanese at a native level, no matter which ethnicity you happen to be, and they often engage in code switching. They'll slip between the two languages in a single sentence, uh, which is quite funny to listen to, but yeah. Um,
Well, send me another link, okay? We're gonna do part three.
okay.